Hello, Luca. Ciao.
Hello, and we have to switch in English as usual for the tech talk, the be part of it of
Be
today.
part of it.
Yeah. Do you have any guests? The topic you want to cover today?
So the topic we're going to cover is the one of SORINT is SaaS, Software as a Solution, which is ARPA. It's a case study for one of our clients written on floating-point.sorint.it for a customer who works in heavy manufacturer and energy manufacturing. He's well known globally. He's headquartered in Liechtenstein. And let's invite our guests. We have Filippo, a product owner on the project from our office in Lecce. We have Lorenzo, senior front-end developer.
Filippo.
We have Eric, back-end developer.
Hi. Hello, Lorenzo. Hello, Eric.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome.
Okay, first of all, of course, we couldn't have Luigi Suardi. He's the software architect of ARPA, but the guests today are pretty much enough to cover the case study. Let's start with Filippo. Can you tell us briefly about ARPA for people who don't know what is ARPA?
ARPA is the name.
Yes, well, ARPA, or Agile Resource Planning Application, is a framework inspired to embrace the Agile methodology, which object to deliver a quick, simple, and unique software solution to transform every day's business operation into agile workflow and introduce a smoother business flow. ARPA supports an agile business process, which allow people to collaborate in a dedicated workflow that is easy to understand and to execute.
And where does this stand in a low code? Why do we say ARPA is our SORINT low code, no code solution?
Yeah, first of all, ARPA is an application developed in low code. It's a low code platform. Low code is an approach to software development that use predefined component to create application. Low code also requires written code, but only to a limited and specific parts, while no code is an approach to software development that allow application to be created without writing any code. In general,
drag and drop, no competence needed. Yeah. So we consider ARPA as our no-code, low-code solution because it rapidly increases the way we develop, and anything that is within the business flow or workflow of processes can be delivered in ARPA in no time. And we're going to see in this case study how this actually happens in reality. So let's talk about...
Sorry, Mo, just to let me add something to the introduction because it's very important. And it's let me say the main idea around, because we have a lot of low-code solution everywhere. So you can develop with this framework. They say that you can develop almost every application using the low-code framework or no-code framework. You can drag and drop without any knowledge and so on. You can develop everything. So we made something different. As mentioned at the beginning, ARPA is named by Agile. So the idea was to create a framework to develop Agile application. That means in the topic of Agile at scale. So Agile not only for the IT department, but also for business processes. You can bring the Agile methodology in the same way you bring the lean methodology into manufacturing or industries, various industry. You can bring agile methodology, the principle of agile methodology in service industry mainly. So, and we are very expert in agile because we come from the software company, technology company, and we are a medium larger company as a SORINT, 1,200 engineers. Let me say a big one in Italy, but medium size globally. So we can use this is the very focused approach. You can develop a business process or everything related to agile, the agile movement. So You can rewrite your processes for almost every department in your company using ARPA with low code. This is the
how it embraces agile methodology within the software you will receive, or within the solution, and then within any department inside the enterprise or the organization. Fair, 100%. We took some time to discuss ARPA, but it's important for people who don't really know it. Let's jump into the case study with Lorenzo in the front end. Lorenzo, okay, we got now a case study. Someone is requiring a specific solution for ARPA. What do we do in the front end?
So in front end, we developed our front end using the Vue.js framework, which is a powerful JS framework that let us to create dynamically the layout of the page that we want to show, and so we can create at runtime all the components that are included in our ARPA solution, components that satisfy the agile feature, the agile properties, and so we can create runtime all these components, show it on the page dynamically, so as is according to the configuration that we provide to the application. So in that way, we can create a very complex application only by writing our configuration, and the front end will show everything according to the configuration that we design specifically for our customer, for his needs.
And also, if the client would need a pure or a big change in the front end and the UI, we are able to provide it, but it will take more time, I would assume. So if the client came with us,
if you want to change the branding of the application, if you want to change the shape of the
way you see things,
the way you see the things, is something that we can do, but it takes more time. In our use case we are presenting now, we are just make the branding of the application, so the application appear with the colors and the logo of our customer, and
the normal simple branding.
Yeah, sure. It's something the customer don't ask to us, but we offer.
We are able to do it if
solution where,
and one of the main things that was in the case study was to develop a mobile app solution. Was this also a front end task?
Yeah, sure. It's to develop also the mobile version. It was in our plans, but it's something that the customer asked because it's a strong need for them, because they have a travel agent that need to use the application on mobile device because we are out of office. Is something that we realized through the progressive web app that is a functionality provided by most of the main browser, and that let us to run our website on device mobile in the shape of a normal mobile application. So the user cannot see the difference between a real mobile application and this website that run like a.
So it's not a mobile app; it's a mobile web solution.
It's a mobile web solution that looks like a mobile app. So we don't need to create a new project to create our web application, our mobile application. We just need to create our website as a responsive site, and we just need to check that our components fit very well in on any screen of any kind.
And scalable in any screen. Okay, this is the front end. So what we understood from the front end, we do rebrand, and we did rebrand in this case study according to the client's as branding. And we did the mobile application solution to match the front end. In the back end, how does the backlog looks like, Eric? What is the processes we do for this client, for this specific client?
Okay, like my colleague said, ARPA is a framework which is highly configurable. That's why they say it's like low code and no code. So basically, we receive the requirement from the clients, and we check first to see the requirement which match what our framework currently provides. And we found that, like, I guess, like more than 90% of what they want, we already have it in the framework. So we only needed to implement just one API. So it was quite straightforward.
It was easy to do.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
but that's one of the tasks is to the API. Other tasks, what would you include in the backend? I'm sure, for example, we need to put it in his own environment, for example, no?
Yeah, because the things like, for example, ARPA actually is currently deployed in our Kubernetes cluster, which is hosted in SORINT. But for this client, we moved to a software as a service architecture. So everything is deployed on AWS. And like we said, like it's ARPA is highly configurable, so we didn't have any issues with like integrating with, for example, Aurora, which is the MySQL database from AWS, or from the notification service or authentication authorization. So everything went really smooth.
And any logics that we need to do, for example, any new logics in this specific case study? Because of course, every client will have their own logic of this client was looking for a lead management as the case study.
Like you say, like everything for us is like about configuration and also the logic. The logic usually is guided by the flow the client wants. So and we for flow we implement the flow of every, we call it tracker or agile task, with the state machine. So we just need to implement the state machine according to the requirement of the client. So even that, everything went just like quite smooth.
Because it's the frameworks helps you already with the basics that are already there out of the box. Any testing activities that we need?
It went smooth because we are good. That's what you should mention anyway.
And the testing, do we need to do any testing in this case?
We have a lot. We are doing a lot of tests, because for everything we have integration tests, unit tests, and also we have UAT tests. So everything is
user accept.
Before being deployed to the client.
I feel it's so, I'm a front-end developer myself. I feel it's so easy using such a framework. Things become way easier. I know we are within a flow, within a specific flow that we need to follow, of course, the business flow or a data workflow, but still the project finishes fast.
So this is also, So this is also, sorry to interrupt you, this is also where the idea of ARPA comes from. So many customers, they were asking us to develop something, to ground some idea. So you have to put on the ground some idea that they have very quickly, because they want to give to some part of their sales force, 10 of their agents or someone, a specific automated process to be more effective, but they want to test it. They want to see if something is wrong or it's working. They don't need to have a huge investment in development and so on. So everything could be mapped into a process, in agile process of something already done, as mentioned by the Kanban. The views are coming from agile, but then we can easily automate some portion of processes very quickly. And if the customers see that the investment is something important, then they can improve it or develop
add to it, add more collaborator.
They want to go very quickly on the market to see if they implement the new agile or any process to improve the sales capabilities of a sales force. They need to test it very quickly. They want to have results, and then they can improve or focus or put some energy in improve the process and everything else. So they are using it to put on the ground some idea that comes in their mind that they want to test. This is another very important use case for them. And then also, and we are very able, so it's very important to understand that we are, as mentioned by Eric, we're very good, because they need also they have everything already, well, Eric mentioned that 90% of the process of the customer was already in place, because more or less the process in Agile can be reused. But also we are very good in helping the customer to integrate software with the part of this, the other infrastructure that they have. So this is very important.
Yeah. More, and this doesn't mean there wasn't more functionality. There was like access control functionality. There was collaborators, of course, involved in the workflow of this lead management, because at the end the solution was focused on lead management process. There is notification on the phone, on the email, on the app itself, import export of data. So it seems small, but no, actually it's very effective in business. And as you said, Luca, if I want to implement a small idea, I cannot customize it and wait months to see a result, or even go, I don't want to mention other vendor names or other solutions in the market, but I don't believe you can have a solution in 5 days. Filippo, can I ask you this question? According to the case study,
yeah,
5 days, version 1.0 was released.
Yeah, the lead management application has been developed and released in 2 versions to date. Version 1 was developed in 5 days. Version 2 was developed in 20 days.
I think good numbers, Luca. As in management, you want a solution that is in 5 days to be in production.
Well, the idea around Agile, this is nothing related to the software development. It's the Agile idea is to get the value as soon as possible. So after 5 days, you start having values from the solution. Then, so you can start
good value
in the
also good value, because the customer was satisfied
they were satisfied.
Yeah. So then in the 20 days, the next 20 days, you develop more feature, then they will add more values, but you are getting the value from the beginning. In 5 days, it's very important.
Yeah. I think that's all. We can close this case study here. Please, if you want to know more details about it, check the detailed case study on floatingpoint.sorint.it, written by Filippo. And thank you all. Thank you, Filippo. Thank you, Eric.
Yeah, I want to add also that we don't have any magic. There is no magic here. No, there is only a disciplined reuse framework that we are using. So we are using components to load the 2 things that are very, let me say, risky in the develop a new process or something. That is the problem or the risk of raising the costs, because the solution can cost a lot and having the first values from the first result in months or years. So this is the first one that is very dangerous. It's a risk. And the second one is, again, so the risk of not obtaining any value. So you can start the idea. If you last 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, you can start using other practices to implement the idea. So sometimes this is the solution for lowering the risk.
The risk of cost, of time, of the time of the people working with because you can go to a low code, no code, any of the, I don't want to mention names, and some of your team members will have to work to implement something. I don't think it's going to take 5 days. From my experience with this X, I don't want to mention the name. It doesn't take 5 days. Sorry, it doesn't. I would like to quickly, because we have like 1 minute, show some slides from the sales deck of ARPA. Just again for people who are not really aware, if you can share the screen.
Yeah.
Get your process automation software deployed in few days, happened in this case study. Get your POC within hours. I think it will depend on the workflow, of course. Simple or complex work, it's very expandable. As you said, Luca, we can start with a workflow that is simple, and then it gets complicated by time. But meanwhile, you're testing how effective this is to your business. There is templates out of the box. I'm not going to go them through. And you have through SORINT, you can get a dedicated team to maintain the solution through our NGMS solution or service. And this is quickly the core features. I'll close it here. Thank you, Lorenzo. Thank you, Filippo. Thank you, Eric. And
thank you to everyone.
Thank you for this successful case study.
And thanks to you, Moab. So see you next time. Thank you very much to everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.